Hi everyone, we are the Night Circus. Now we are going to start with a little debate of do witches, vampires, and ghosts exist? We don't know. We are going to talk about that. So I am Majo. I'm Maribel. I'm Pam.
And I'm Angel. Now, in the dynamics of this debate, Majo and Maribel will be in favor of the existence of ghosts, vampires, and witches. And Pam and I will be against it. We don't believe in that.
Yes. So let's throw a coin and see who starts. Let's start with witches, then vampires, and then ghosts at the end. Okay. Yeah. Let's throw this to see who starts.
Let's see. We didn't choose who was going to take what. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Right. Now, let's start. Just start.
Okay, well, I have to start with the witches. Many cultures and persons say that the witches are real in the different countries have their own witches. For example, in Mexico, Durango exists the legend that say exist witches that are fire in the mountains. So you believe in witches because of that? Yes, because exists a lot of proofs that the witches, for example, the Salem's witches is a story, a veridic story that happens, and that's it. Do you have? And also, a reason to believe in witches is because there are so many books that talk about that, about different activities you can do as a witch. There are different like these learning books for witches, and I think with only if you can combine different plants like these medicine, like these medicine plants, or for example different formulas. I know that is related to chemical science, but I think that at the end, science is part of witchcraft. I think the witches help to improve the knowledge about the herbal medicine and a lot of things. In the actuality, we can say with security that exists a lot of witches. So you can become a witch if you practice these
studies,
these studies. And also, I want to add that I lost my idea. That being a witch, it is it has it is also something that is seen like with the energies, with the auras, with all of that, that we talk about every day. Like we have these senses. Well, most of the wishes have like these senses, like these. They can see like more, more like beyond the reality.
Yes, some individuals claim to possess psychic abilities such as telepathy, recognition, or the ability to influence events. I know some people that say that they can have dreams, and it is a premonition. They can have a premonition about the things. I think you just changed all the topic.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you started with witchcraft and now you're talking about.
Sciences.
Well, it was all for us. And you.
We shall start your opening statement why they don't exist. You want to start? Why start?
Or you want.
Me?
You?
Do you want me to start? So let's start with witches. The concept of a witch, that is a magical creature. It is considered a fantasy creature because it doesn't exist. And the sole idea of a witch comes from a woman that does witchcraft because they had a pact with a demon or the devil. Well, through history, all the witches recorded, they are all just like women who did chemistry, women who were astrologists, any women that wasn't fitting in the conception of a pretty woman that just had to have a baby or just had to take care of the house and stuff because of, machismo. You say the male.
You talked about herbology, that witches,
Witches.
they practice herbology, that herbology does exist. It's
It's not a demonic.
no, but it's the study of plants and all that, and what these women, most women, did was that they used to make their own medicine, their own home remedies for illnesses or for stomachache, headaches, and all that. And people misunderstood that. That was a historical misunderstanding. And that's when they started the Salem trial persecution. So it's all about misunderstanding from the from the very beginning. So it was pretty much caused by fear. All the Salem trials, they were caused by fear, ignorance, and misunderstanding. And then you also talk, well, there's not actually scientific evidence that proves the existence of witches. You were saying that in Durango, here in Durango, Mexico,
There's no fire flying.
they are sites of fireballs, and they see. People say they are witches, but
It could be anything.
they could be anything exactly.
And why they couldn't be witches?
It would probably be a firework than a witch.
Because of ignorance, of misunderstanding. And then also, what else?
Well, let's stay because you were talking about witches. A person who does chemistry or science is a witch. And that's why I started with a witch is a fantastic creature that does witchcraft, which is like spells, regarding death and stuff, with because of a deal with a demon. So this is all the magic from a witch is dark magic that comes from a demon. But chemistry, science, and all that doesn't come from a demon, it's science.
And also a lot of things that are related to witches can be explained by science, like natural disasters, or they are actually scientific coincidences, or they are actual scientific proof, like I've already said, illnesses and psychological events. And I don't know, what else would you like to add?
Well, you say that the witches practice herbology and something
Chemistry.
else, chemistry. Exist a lot of witches that practice different, that have different practices. So, exist witches, red witches that make spells of poisons with blood. Exist dark witches that they practice the dark magic, and
There are also white witches.
the green witches
Like
that
Mago also.
Eh?
Like Mago.
the green witches that they use nature, they adore the nature, and like the green witches are the witches that practice herbology, and to exist the moon witches, I think, that use the moon
As a catalyst
as
for
their
the
favor.
witchcraft.
Well, you just said, well, everything you said is what
Yeah,
I already
speculation,
told you.
speculation.
Everything that you said has already proven to be scientific proof. For example, the moon witches, it is
Moons are rock.
scientifically proved that the moon does affect the earth and it does affect us as human beings. So the witches doing whatever they did, it was just a coincidence, as Angel said. And the green witches studying herbology,
That is a science.
it's a science as well. It's not
witchcraft, not
it's,
demonic pacts.
it's not magic.
I
There's no
think
magic in there.
we have different concepts of witches.
Do you think that the witches are
Because you see it only as a mythical creature that has a pact with.
No, they're
A
not
devil.
mythical, they are fantasy.
They are fantasy, and they have a supposed pact with a devil, with a demon, and we have it like in a concept where these are women that have different abilities with different resources. So that's why I think witches do exist.
Just because I forgot my
Well,
notes.
I-
And they have I'm sorry, Pam. And they have like a strong power inside these women or men. They can be men, but it has a different meaning.
I forgot my notes, but I'm going to read you. A witch is a practitioner of witchcraft, which is the use of magic or supernatural powers to inflict harm or misfortune on others.
exists a lot of definitions?
No,
of
that is the
witches?
definition of witch.
Well,
I think we are speaking of witches in general, not just only witches that have a pact with the demon, and not just witches that are like women using the resources and everything. We are discussing both, not just one, both.
No, that is the definition of witch.
Yeah, but I
A
thought
person that uses supernatural powers to do witchcraft. That's why it's a witch. If not, it will be how do you call it? The ones who do verbs and stuff. This is interesting. Now it is a debate, me against all Let's see. So a witch, definition of a witch, a person that does witchcraft with
and what
is
is
a
witchcraft?
supernatural
And what is witchcraft?
A witchcraft is the use of supernatural powers to harm others.
No,
A
I
witch is by
think
definition someone evil.
there is when the definition is altered by fiction and all of that.
No, this is from ancient times, from the first times of culture.
There's
A witch
Salem trial.
is to explain why a woman could do all that. Why a woman could, cure a stomach, or a woman could do, read the stars and stuff. People didn't understand that, so they call him a witch, someone who was evil and could use all that to harm others. They wanted to have them controlled, and that's why they came up with this.
Okay,
This
I have-
supernatural
Because
powers.
of our misunderstanding, ignorance, and that's when they started the Salem trials
Yeah.
to accuse them. We are on the same page. Why are you like that?
We're talking about witches. The definition of witch is someone who uses supernatural powers.
Yes, but they don't only use that, they use herbalism and all that.
Yeah, they use all
I
things,
have
but they...
I have the definition of witchcraft, and it is yes. It's one definition says that the practice of magic is especially for evil purposes, which is the fiction part. The all the history that humans change in their minds and all of that.
Yeah.
But we also have this religious practice involving magic and an affinity with nature, usually within a pagan tradition.
Pagan is something bad for the religion. Other pagans, gods and stuff, they supposedly were bad and evil because it was against.
Pagan is not evil, it is.
It was used as an evil. Like it was just like it is pagan, it is not, it is bad because it is not a religion that is a bad god and could harm us.
But witchcraft includes this affinity with nature, and we are talking to you about
But that is
how
a
they-
trait
their
of
lives.
witch.
That's how they made their potions and all of that.
Yeah, but that is a trait of a witch.
No.
Someone who uses poisons doesn't actually automatically goes to a witch.
Yeah, but the supernatural abilities and all of that you are speaking about, that's related with fiction.
Yes.
The original witches didn't have that.
No, they didn't have that.
They didn't have.
But they are talking
But-
about witches.
And we are talking about if they exist or not. And
Yeah.
as I see, they exist
Why?
with a different definition, but they exist.
No, a witch
Because
Then it is not a witch.
you're using a fictional
definition because they are fictional. If someone uses chemistry, it is a person who does chemistry. It is a
It's basically
chemist.
a doctor.
It is a doctor,
But
not a
But we
witch.
are starting.
what we are
starting.
debating here is that witches in general, which is the one you were talking about, the one you are talking about,
Yeah.
are they real or fiction? That's the point.
Yeah, my
Don't
point is
start
that
this.
they are.
Don't start this.
My point is, well, the whole point of this is that they are talking about people who uses plants, botanics, and chemistry. That they are witches.
Because they are.
No, they are not. They are not using supernatural powers. They are not witches. Hence, witches doesn't exist.
No.
You know, the main trait of a witch is
Are
that they
you
use
sure you did your
supernatural
research
stuff.
about witches?
I am the only one providing facts here.
But are you sure?
Yes, I read about witches. I know about witches.
you?
My mom is a vampire and a witch.
Nice.
But my point is that if it uses botanics, herbology, or chemistry, again, I'm talking about myself, it is not a witch, it is a person of science.
Here I have the definition of green witch. Village medicine woman heals with wise grandmothers who appear to have a magic touch with remedies.
Look, this is how I'm picturing it right now. It's like these two are talking about the witches that we see on TikTok, and you are talking about the witches that we see on movies. That's where I'm picturing.
No,
That's
because
what you're trying to debate right now.
they are talking about medics and chemistry and all that, but they are like ignoring the fact that witch has to have magic, has to have supernatural powers.
Because they can have magic with the treats with the nature and
Yeah,
the-
none of the ones that
But
you're talking about have
We are
magic.
talking about the part they can make these potions, like these spells,
Yeah.
that includes the like a force. They
Magic.
see
Supernatural
like they
powers.
use a force to influence people. We have
Magic.
we have love spells. We have these money spells, and they do all that with herbolaries. Hi guys, so we had to change a little bit the view, but we're going to start. We're going to follow this topic.
Yeah.
So yes, witches do exist. And as I said before, you're talking about the fictional witches that are. It is a distortionate image about witches from humans, and we're talking about witches that do exist, that do witchcraft with natural things, with different resources. So,
Oh.
and they have these spells with these herbal things.
So they do use magic.
Yes.
Why? They
They don't exist, period.
Magic doesn't exist. Period.
but the witches.
But witches do.
And which is magic? There is no magic. There is no witch.
No, exists a lot of definitions. But sí, hay one. Do you want?
We had cancelled. So the important thing is that what do you guys think? Are they real? Are they fiction?
They are not. Which is just magic. Magic doesn't exist. There is no witch without magic.
Let us know in the comments. Okay, next section.
Vampires.
Next section.
Vampires doesn't exist.
I think we win the first round.
No. We're talking about chemistry and stuff. We're talking about a doctor.
Well, who can start?
We start with the king wins. Why those vampires doesn't exist?
Okay. So. No, because I don't want my friends to show in the video. I'm a mystery person. Stop it.
We're going to part 2 lines. Alright.
So, basically, vampires cannot exist. There is no possible way in the human physiognomy, anatomy, in which they can survive by drinking blood. That is impossible. They cannot do it. Actually, if they do, if because there are some crazy humans that have tried, uh, drinking blood, and it has caused them uh, health issues and iron, something to do with iron. Let me check.
Yeah, the iron and some other blood in general comes with diseases.
Yes, and you don't want iron problems. So
Too much iron.
that's my first statement to begin this debate.
I'm going to add another one. If they don't drink blood, they drink blood because of the minerals and stuff, and the lack of when they cannot go outside in light and stuff. They can compensate with that with vitamins and other type of food. Why do they drink blood? They don't have to.
Why human blood?
Why human blood? Why not animal blood? Well, human blood has different. But a vampire doesn't need to drink blood. They can have substitutes blood, and for all the vitamins they need. Also, why the fangs?
To pierce the
To
skin.
pierce the skin to blood, but they can do that with nails or anything. Why
Yeah, that's
fangs?
something. Well, we're going to talk about.
Yeah, well, just
No, wait.
you want to?
Another point is immortality. Dun, dun, dun. That is another fact that cannot be true, because being immortal it's a contradiction of our understanding of
Reality in general.
biology in its peak. So being immortal it's like saying I can fly. I don't know.
They can fly. They can turn into bats.
Well, they cannot do any of that. So that's
They
what
can turn into bats. They burn with the. This is one of the most. I'm going to say the most controversial one. They burn in the light of the sun, but they can go outside at night with the light of the moon. That is the light of the sun being reflected in the moon. So that is another one. Go ahead.
Well, you say that why they doesn't drink blood of the animals. Actually, they can drink blood from the animals, but it's supposed that they prefer the blood of the humans. So I hear.
And the vampires started with this emperor book. I don't know what it was, but it is called Vladimir something, and and he claimed to be a vampire, and he drank blood. We don't know which blood, but he drank.
you don't
blood.
even know this.
I'm sorry.
You need to do research.
I did it more for witches than for vampires, but so yes, he do drink blood, and it started with him because it is the first vampire that is know that we have knowledge. We don't know if there in that
It's
time
from Europe now.
there were
Yeah,
more.
yes, so you're
Are
right.
you
He
talking
claimed to be a
about
vampire
the
lived until
Empalado?
something.
No?
Yes.
It wasn't Vladimir.
Vlad el
Vlad.
Vlad el
Yes,
Empalador.
The emperor.
The
Blood.
Empalador.
Yeah,
Yes, the
Embalador.
The bloodsucker.
The slug?
That's what he did. You don't know the story?
It's a bloodsucker. Yeah.
Tell the story. I want to hear the story.
Right? I know the story, but I don't know it from memory. But I have heard of that. He's one of the most famous.
that used to
There.
kill the state country he was ruling. He was at war with some other one.
Yeah.
And what he did was that they went into war, and all of his enemies, he took its bodies, and with a stick, they put the head, and then stuck it from the butthole up to the throat. And it was all of them. They were in front of his castle, and some say that he will drink the blood that was dripping and pour it in a cup, and that's why
he was a vampire.
And that's where Dracula was. The book was invented.
I think that was a good warning to the enemies.
Yeah, you guys.
Yes. So
I would like to point the fangs. Yes, it is the fangs.
Fangs.
Fangs?
Yeah, fangs. Yeah.
So vampires don't drink blood through the fangs.
No, they pierce the skin and then.
They pierce the skin and they drink the blood like.
Yeah, but like fangs. They
Yes.
can just like rip it. Drink.
But it is. We also say it. It is for pierce the skin, the first layer of.
I just thought that evolutionary, it is weird that it was just fangs and not nails and stuff.
But I mean, humans. The ones
It wasn't
that
appearing in the video.
the ones that eat meat, they use their fangs. So why don't vampires can use their fangs to pierce the? It is a more strong part of the
The jaw.
dental.
Jaw.
Yes.
you say something about the immortality. Well, it is said that the blood have special properties.
Yeah, diseases and stuff, man.
Like with the blood you can be young, and that's. Do you know the story of Elizabeth Bathory?
The one who
They-
baths in milk?
She take showers with blood. No showers.
She bathed
Yeah.
with.
Bath.
With blood, yeah. And some made milk.
With
Where's
blood
my
of
bottle?
young girls.
And I don't know if you have.
milk.
And I don't know if you have also heard about this
I don't like milk.
skincare with blood.
Yes.
Well,
What?
that is
That is creepy.
that is an actual medical procedure that you can do until this day with your own blood. But that's another thing.
Yeah, well, but with the
But
blood of
it
others,
is
you
used
can
for
carry diseases and stuff.
the for
For your skin.
the skin for youth.
Well, yeah, but aging is not just about blood and wrinkles. Aging is about your bones decaying, your body decaying, your organs starting to fail.
And basically, immortality, it's a contradiction of life itself.
There is very few animals, and well, it is mostly microorganism animals. The turtle, they live long times, where nobody does from 100. The only organisms that pass the 100 years are like microorganisms without our features like the bones, the articulations, or organs. All that fail. Almost completely. So, cut. Let's conclude with vampires real quick. They don't exist. That's it.
Yeah, they exist.
They don't. It's
Well,
not possible.
based in our judgment, they exist, but they think they don't exist.
They don't exist. They cannot exist.
Let us know if they exist or not.
Yes. So
use your
please put
opinion on
it
this
in
one.
comments.
We're gonna go to the final part of this video, the final section.
Ghosts.
is ghosts. Are ghosts real or fiction? Or something else?
They are true or they are false? They are false.
They are true.
I think they're true.
What's in your there?
Well,
Justification.
who can you? It's your turn. Okay. Well, a lot of people say that they see phantoms or people that in this moment, that in that moment they don't know that. I'm sorry. I thought he was going to say in this moment there's someone behind you.
We don't believe
And
in that.
I was watching like in that point and
No, but it came in like that.
We don't believe in
I
that.
don't believe in any of what we're talking about. Okay, whatever.
What are you talking about? I don't see that.
A lot of people say that they live situation when they talk with someone and they don't know that person was dead.
yes, they I have a story where there is this taxi driver that
Was about to crash with a bus.
ah,
Someone. Sorry, yeah.
that he just moved a woman from point A to point B, and she said like, okay, now go to this direction and tell them to pay you. And he went, and it was the another man and came out of the house of the direction, and he said, what are you saying? She died like 3 years ago. So this kind of experience to affirm that ghosts exist. And there are a lot of experience like that.
I could say that that was a scam. Like, I know this girl died, so I'm going to send this taxi to the house of the parents. So he freaks out and I don't have to pay nothing.
I don't think so.
I have
It's a very good idea, actually.
I have another story about a war, and the man said that, well, in the camera we can say that we can see that the war is talking with someone, and he said that he was talking with their friend, another guard, but in that moment the guard
He didn't know that he was the only one in
He was
the
alone.
building? Or
yes, they don't know that he was no. He don't know that he was alone in that place. He think that he and his friend are together in that place, but the friend had an accident and he died.
So he was talking to others.
He was talking with the ghost, and in the camera we can see that he's talking alone. So what explication can you tell us about
Ooh, a lot of implications.
That one? Technical problems and mental issues.
It
but
could be like really sad and was the
His only way of coping was it could be a hallucination. there are some cases where people are grieving the death of their loved one so much that they think they are
Still there.
they're like, or they even think that like through the corner of their eyes they see them, but it's just all in their heads because they want to see them one last time.
It could be also him just talking, just to cope, just to be distracted.
Mm-hmm. It could be maybe he was talking to someone and the security camera didn't capture it. There are a lot of security camera malfunctions that have been, how do you say it? Solved. Like it wasn't a ghost, it was a camera malfunction because this part of the camera doesn't work, so it wasn't recording that part. Just this part was recording.
Yeah, they can freeze sometimes. It could be also script, like it was a lie. It was script. That's it. Ghosts are one of the most hard to explain because you cannot see them, you cannot interact with them.
But you can.
Well, you can see them in some cases. Well, they say.
I think we can say a lot about ghosts.
And there are a lot of stories because, for example, you are alone in the house and in 1 second your mom can talk to you like, hey son, come downstairs. But you go downstairs and there's no one. So how you can explain that?
It happens a lot to me because I hear my mom everywhere, like, hey,
Trauma.
what? But it is stop. It's more like, when you have your cell phone in your pockets and you think that it is
It
vibrating
doesn't happen to me.
and it is, and you hear the tone and all, and you check it and it is not there.
That could be is that you are in a place you're feeling comfortable, in a place you are spending time with someone you know, and you know that person a lot, so you get used to that person's presence. So it's like a routine.
You learn
So,
to recognize
like,
patterns.
It's a pattern out of a routine. Sometimes the mom called the son a lot of times, and maybe that one time that the mom wasn't there, the son was like, "Oh, my mom hasn't called me yet," and maybe he thought or heard the voices in his head. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
you learn to recognize patterns. It is for survival. It is reminiscent of our ancestors. So anything that can you hear that is remotely it's remotely related to the voice of your mom, you instantly feel the gaps. Like if you hear a screech that sounds more or less like your mom's voice, your brain feels the gap of the things that you didn't hear, and you assume that your mom talked to you, because of the same pattern, like that.
Yes,
Patterns.
but I like the thing is what they think.
Yes.
So
Please comment. What do you think?
What do you think?
Which vampires and ghosts are real or are not real? Do they exist or do they not exist? So please tell us in comment. This was the Night Circus and we finish here. We hope to see you next time. Bye bye.
See you.
Bye.
I can say that I'm a ghost. A ghost is talking.
Again.